Hi, Mr. Blake Angelo. We're here in New York at the MODX.
Yes, Yamaha Artist Services in New York City. Where am I? Yeah, I'm at Yamaha Artist Services in New York City. It's on 5th Avenue, about 53rd Street or so, down here in lovely Manhattan, New York, New York. City's so nice, they named it twice, right?
Exactly, did they? Indeed they did. And it's not raining, and it's been a great. We've witnessed the streaming event, which all went very well.
Yeah, I think it went great. And so what am I talking about? I'm talking about the new MODX music synthesizer. So the MODX is based on Montage DNA. It has the same AWM2 sample-based engine, exactly the same actually. And then on the other hand, it has this really great 8-operator FM synthesizer, the 64-voice polyphony, total of 192 voice polyphony. So very powerful dual synthesis engine. And of course, in the middle you have the super knob, just like on the Montage. Again, it's Montage DNA we're talking about. So the super knob can do all sorts of stuff, and I'll play some stuff that shows you all the things that you can do with the super knob.
So can I just ask a couple of questions? I mean,
Sure.
One of the things I'm trying to figure out is, so it's kind of nearly half the price of the Montage.
Yeah, so
but
here's
it's almost exactly the same spec.
It's not quite. I mean, there's some differences. So I'll tell you what the differences are. First of all, the Montage is an all-metal chassis. It's much more of a harder thing. This guy is plastic. So the idea behind this instrument is a mobile sort of Montage, basically. So there's that aspect. There's some other specs that are different. The 128 polyphonic FMX engine in the Montage versus the 64 voice poly here.
Right.
The other thing is simultaneous insertion effects. Montage, there is no all insertion effects on all parts all the time. This guy is up to 12, 13 if you count the actual A to D input. It's still quite a lot, but
should do you, right?
Yeah, it should do you. There's some other things too. The pure analog circuit A to D conversion that's on the Montage. The Montage has a little bit nicer converters. Also, the Montage, when you connect it to a computer, you can actually get 32 inputs to the computer and 6 back. You can configure them as stereo channels or mono channels. And you can also, Montage actually supports the higher sample rates like 96 kilohertz and 182. This guy still has a lot. It's 10 outputs. It's fixed at 44.1, so you get 10 to the computer or 5 stereo if you want to look at it that way. And then you have 4 returns back. So there's definitely some differences between the two. What I like to say is that if you have a really the best high performance sports car, and then you have a lower level sports car, that they're still sports cars. It's just the one that's the nice one. It's going to cost a little bit of money because it has some extra things on it.
In some ways, the all metal chassis, or the lack of an all metal chassis is a positive because it means you can get it easier, right?
Well, and there's another aspect that you may have figured out too is if you look at the control panel, you still have a lot of controls in here. You have 4 rotary encoders, 4 faders. Now on a Montage you have 8. And each one of them have LEDs around them. So when I move this, I can actually see what the rotary, where they're at a glance. Now that's a nice to have. Fortunately, because the MODX doesn't have that, when I move a knob, you see right in the screen here, like if I'm in the main performance, that there's a little scroll.
Status update.
So I can see exactly what I am moving and what those statuses are set at. The other thing that you have is all this area over here. Well, all of that's gone. Those buttons cost money, those backlit buttons. So if you go over here, all those direct select controls, those are nice to haves when you're on a live gig where you just want to go over and select something here as opposed to always being the touchscreen. There's a little bit more control over here with that. The other thing is that the Montage has full-on DAW control for Pro Tools, for Cubase, for Live, for Logic, and it's really nicely done. And it's really nice to have those 8x8 buttons here where you can select a track, arm the track. So that's probably the big differences. And I know that people really want to hear what those differences are. So those are the main ones right there. But with that said, there's also differences over here. For example, when I talked about the part select that I don't have here, so what we have instead is this part select button here. So if I were to say grab a multi-part performance, say, let me just grab one that's got a lot of stuff in it. Kreuzberg Funk.
You still got the touchscreen as well. So
you still have the touchscreen. It's the same touchscreen as the Montage. But on this one, for example, I still have my scenes. Now I have 8 scene buttons on the Montage, but I can get to the other ones by going down here. So those are the scenes here with 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 1 through 4, 5 through 8, and so on. Now over here, I can still select the parts in the touchscreen just like I can in Montage, But we also have this part select mute solo. So let's say I want to play something back and I want to mute solo stuff. I touch the part select. You have select, mute, and solo right here. I can select the tracks here. Right now I'm soloing tracks too.
Right.
Or I can.
So there are ways around it. I mean, it's from the stuff we saw in the live stream. I mean, they were all live performances. You know, people were performing live with it, so it still definitely does that thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, so the usability is pretty cool. Another thing that's kind of cool about this product that we kind of brought over from the previous model, the MOXF, is the dedicated USB volume control. Now, why is that cool? That's cool because
return, right?
It's because it's an audio interface. When I'm connected to a computer, let's say I use virtual instruments in my performance, and I want to be able to control how loud those are coming off of the DAW without having to reach up to the computer. That's what that dedicated USB knob is right here. So it's a nice thing to have when you are taking a rig that has both internal sounds and things. You can control.
Well, I guess
DAW.
also that could be another layer of virtual instruments you might be bringing back into your mix. Or
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a nice to have, and that again, that was a carryover from our previous model. We had a similar, USB volume control as well.
I know people are probably going, "Oh, just play." But actually, you've just done a load of videos where people can hear what this.
There's lots of stuff up there. I mean, you can play. But I will since Richard played, and I think this is kind of a cool thing. We all know that it has a great piano, So this is the same CFX Concert Grand, a 4-part performance that all parts are dedicated towards this great piano sound. So as they play this, I love how this is my go-to. Whatever. It's just
that's very.
I have all this playing happening right now.
This one's got the graded hammer action, isn't it? This.
There you are. That's wondered that was. So it has graded hammer, exactly. Yeah. So this is the same. It's heavy in the low end, lighter in the high end. It's a very nice, very responsive, nice action.
Did you say what the price was in the presentation?
I didn't, but I will tell you what it is for US dollars at least. We can find it in stores or online. You'll look at 61 note. It's $12.99. The 76 note is $14.99. And the 88 note, this one right here is $18.99. So when I've been playing the 76 note is the one that I personally have right now. And what I love about that 76 note is it is 16 pounds. What is that? 6 point something kilograms.
Yeah.
Incredibly lightweight, like almost astonishingly so. You pick it up, and Dom showed earlier in the thing, and I can do it with this one too. I can pick the 88 note one at 30 pounds with one finger. Super lightweight. So we have these really cool signature bags that are going to be available at launch, which is about the 27th is when you'll see them in stores. And these bags are really they look cool, but they are also backpack bags. So I can take that on my back, and it's 16 pounds. It's actually less than my laptop bag. So I can go on a gig. And now I'm really happy that I can play this live because it's released. So now I have my main gigging acts because it's just, the lightweightness is killing on this. But it's got all of the same sensibility as Montage. So, we saw Richard Devine in here, so I like to show some of the things. These are actually performances that Richard used at Superbooth this year. And at Superbooth, we announced the Sound Mondo support. So Sound Mondo is a cloud-based social sound sharing service. Now, it supported, first we started out with the Reface, and then we added Montage. So you can share Montage performances up there. Well, we will absolutely, within a few days, release the Sound Mondo for MODX. So when this is in the stores, when people have it, they'll be able to download sounds. And so the point of that is all of these performances were uploaded by Richard to Sound Mondo, and everybody can have them.
Just free,
totally free.
Right.
So you get to check out these amazingly well done performances by a real sound designer that do, like this one I love. Things just. The scenes will call up different arpeggios. So if you look at this performance, what is cool about this guy is like with a lot of Richard's Performance, they just kind of keep going. So there's probably still something happening, you know. But, so what am I looking at? I'm looking at 3 parts here that are AWM. The drum part uses the sample-based engine, but then we have 2 FMX parts, 1 AWM part, and 1 FM part here. So what, a total of 4 FM parts or 3 FM parts and 4 AWM parts. It's a really great example of this dual synth engine.
Nice.
So at a glance, how does a new player coming to the sport know at a glance that there are all these themes to explore when they're faced with auditioning how many hundreds or thousands of presets?
Well, how do they know? Okay, well, there's a few things on a preset. Now, this one I don't know if it has, if these presets have, or his stuff has auditions, but I'll show you what an audition does.
Audition stuff.
So an audition, let's say you go to, I'll find something that may not be abundantly clear. Let's take something like one of these guitar ones. Here's one, electric clean, and I'll grab 8 amps in a telly. So what is that? You know, so if you sit down and play it the first time, you go like, so it's a guitar, obviously, right? So, but why are these all muted? So that's why we have this audition right here. What the audition does is it plays a demonstration sequence, but it gives you some idea of what's happening. So I'll just press audition and see what happens. Okay, so that's doing some effect changes. So 8 amps, 8 amplifiers, and a TC is the same guitar sound, but with 8 different amp styles. And each one kind of highlights how you perform it. Okay.
Right.
Now, let's say right here, oh, that's the sound I like. As soon as I touch the audition off, I'm now playing exactly where I stopped the audition. So if you go, oh, I love how that sounds. What's that? Yeah, for a little bit. And I'll be done.
We should probably wrap.
Okay,
I know
but
lots of people have got questions.
You know what? And if you have any other questions or anything, go to YamahaSynth.com. We already have the launch article that describes all the features, along with a short artist video that has the 3 artists we had here today. We'll have 5 articles up there for you to look at that are for like how to navigate and stuff. YamahaSynth.com is the place where we have all of that information for people how to use it. There's lots of videos. I think we have over 6 hours of montage video content. We'll add another, some more moving forward for MODX as well. So yeah, that's basically it. So
thank you very much, Blake.
Yeah, thank you so much. And this is Sonic State, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Thank you, Sonic State users, watchers, and everything. This is Blake from Yamaha. Thanks for watching.